Yeah, I do want to mention this as well. Chinese President Xi Jinping is in Saudi Arabia visiting the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the Saudis pulled out the stops for Xi's arrival. According to Chinese state television, 4 fighter jets from the Royal Saudi Air Force escorted Xi's plane after it entered the country's airspace, and they also literally rolled out a purple carpet for the Chinese leader. Xi will be in Saudi Arabia for a few days, where he will reportedly sign dozens of trade, economic, and military agreements with Arab world leaders to the tune of tens of billions of dollars. The important note here is, Sean, you think about the fractured relationship with President Biden and Mohammed bin Salman. These should have probably been a lot of deals that were coming to the U.S. And China is trying to court Saudi Arabia. We already know that they have tried to put the price of gas in the Chinese yuan instead of the U.S. dollar. And so they're trying to shift that relationship, the relationship we've had with one of our allies, Saudi Arabia, for a long time. And they're trying to get a lot of those deals.
You realize a week ago, after Biden calling Mohammed bin Salman a pariah on the campaign trail, they give him immunity in the court systems. Right. And then this is how they repay us, by snuggling up to China. Unbelievable. For more on this, let's bring in Kentucky Congressman and Ranking Member on the House Oversight Committee, James Comer. Congressman, good to see you. We got you, Congressman?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, so this relationship seems kind of does not seem to sit well. Biden called MBS a pariah when he was running, as I said, and now you've got him MBS meeting with Xi a week after we give him immunity so he can't be prosecuted for the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which is why Biden labeled him a pariah.
It's like China continues to make fun of us. China continues to poke Joe Biden in the eye on the world stage. You think we can't fall any further than we did after the debacle in Afghanistan from when we withdrew our troops and left all of our military equipment behind. But then you see what happened today with the prisoner swap in Russia, and now how Saudi Arabia and China are essentially mocking President Biden. It's amazing how far we've fallen on the world stage in terms of respect in just 2 years.
Absolutely. You just recently revealed that President Biden had a failed secret deal with the Saudis to try and boost oil production, something he said it wasn't about the oil. This will be one of the many investigations that you and your House colleagues are planning on launching next year. Tell us about that. Tell us about what you know so far.
Well, we know very little so far, but we're not going to let up. Obviously, in January, when I have the gavel and subpoena power, we're going to continue to press for answers. We've requested information from Secretary Blinken. We've requested information from the Department of Energy and just about every agency that would be potentially involved in this. We want to know exactly what kind of deal was Joe Biden trying to make with Saudi Arabia. What we know is he was asking Saudi Arabia to increase oil production prior to the election. Therefore, that would obviously lower the price of gasoline and help him in the election. We want to know what was the deal after the election. Were they going to be able to cut production? And in turn, Americans were going to have to pay far more for oil than they normally would. The Democrats would call this a quid pro quo in the previous administration. So we're very concerned about this. This is just another example of how little confidence Republicans in Washington have in Joe Biden, especially when he's negotiating deals on the world stage now.
One of the other investigations that you've also kind of started to go down is with Twitter. I mean, you just sent several letters to a bunch of their executives demanding testimony on the company's suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop, including the ex-Twitter lawyer Jesse Kelly, who helped launch the investigation into the now debunked claims that former President Trump colluded with Russia. The FBI says that none of that is true. So tell us what you're trying to find out and where this stands.
Well, my investigation is focused squarely on Joe Biden, but we're very interested in what not only candidate Biden and the Democrat National Committee were telling Twitter executives about the laptop, but also what the FBI was telling Twitter about the laptop. If, as I suspect, the FBI came in and told Twitter that that laptop story sure looked a lot like Russian disinformation, then we have a huge problem, because the FBI actually had the laptop for nearly a year. They knew darn well that laptop was legitimate, it was authentic, and they knew exactly the contents of the laptop that showed not only all the shady business dealings that Hunter Biden had with our adversaries across the globe, but also Joe Biden's involvement. in the influence peddling schemes that Hunter and Jim Biden had been doing over the past decade. So we're primarily concerned with who told you the laptop wasn't legitimate, because the laptop provides such a large amount of evidence that we're going to use in our evidence on trying to determine whether or not Joe Biden's compromised, because that's the purpose of the investigation. We believe that if this White House is compromised because of the millions and millions of dollars they've received from China and Russia, then that's a national security risk. So that is of the utmost importance for Congress from an oversight standpoint, from an investigative standpoint. We need to make sure that this White House isn't compromised, because they sure have taken a whole lot of money from China and Russia.
That they have. Well, you have a very big plate that is filled with investigations come January. I appreciate you stopping by and sharing some of your thoughts with us.
Thanks for having me on.